Before joining CESP, I approached service as a way to ultimately benefit myself. Even though I may not have been intentionally selfish in my signing up for volunteer shifts that feed my starving children with my friends, or eventually becoming student council president and leading different volunteering efforts, I was ignorantly and unknowingly throwing myself into communities for my own purposes instead of centering the needs of those I was serving. Upon graduating high school and getting into the University of Minnesota, I patted myself on the back for all the work I had done in high school to bulk up my resume and get myself into the university I wanted to attend. During my freshman year, I wanted to find a community that was similar to my student council community in high school. Then, a roommate and I found a co ed service fraternity on campus. At my first meeting for this group, I connected with some pretty amazing people and got really excited about entering this community. However, throughout that year, something about the approach to service did not sit right with me. I was doing the same type of volunteering I did in high school, signing up for different events, showing up, doing what I was told, and honestly just messing around most of the time, and then going home. I began to see the harm that the unintentional approach had on the communities that we thought we were helping, and from this grew frustration and resentment. I did not leave the group after my first year, but I did spend the summer after my freshman year in Medellin, Colombia, through a nonprofit called ISIC as a volunteer English teacher. Through this experience, it clicked for me the importance of understanding the needs of the community you're serving and filling the need rather than ignorantly taking charge. ISIC has all of its volunteers do training on avoiding white saviorism and listening to the needs of the community before any volunteer trip, and is also pretty supportive upon return. It is not a perfect organization, as it is run by unpaid students, so it is run by passion rather than profit. So, this experience is often a messy, but beautiful and life changing one. When I first returned from Medellin, I did not find the support and space I needed to reflect in my service fraternity. Someone in the group with me was a CESP scholar. She and I were at an event at Weissman. It was just us two. Turnout for these kinds of events were often low, and I confided with her my frustrations and my feelings of being lost and unfulfilled in this group. She then suggested that I join CESP, where I could get both recognized for my 150 plus hours of service in Colombia that were not being recognized currently in that group, and find the space I needed to reflect that I was looking for. I made an appointment to join CESP that day. In my first CESP reflection essay, I was given that space I was looking for to reflect about my prior service experience and what I learned in Colombia. In my ethic of service essay, I was able to explore the beauty and necessity of intertwining our passions in our service work, as well as honoring our professional goals, but not making those the focus. In my case, I was passionate about Spanish speaking cultures and seeking out an immersive experience to improve my language skills and cultural awareness, and my ISAC experience honored both of those. Additionally, the third and final point I made in my ethic of service essay was the importance of centering and building relationships when approaching service. In my essay, I talked extensively about my relationship with my three host sisters, and especially my hermanita, little host sister Salome. Our emotional connection fueled me to fulfill my commitments as a volunteer. She also, despite her young age, maturely held space for me to process and reflect with her both while in Medellin and after leaving. Through my psychology education, I discovered and nurtured my passion for mindfulness. From this, I was able to become more connected to the CESB community through facilitating the mindfulness rap session with Lindsay in the fall of 2019. I studied abroad in the spring of 2020. This picture is from the night before I had to return home, and I genuinely did not have the intention of continuing this rap session, thinking it was a one and done situation. However, after experiencing the most surreal month of my life, getting sent home for my study abroad due to the global pandemic, Basanti asked if I could run the session again, as the community needed it. Then we ran this rap session again the following semester, and now we've handed it off to another young CESP scholar. The mindfulness rap session taught me another new lesson in service, sustainability, and how to create a lasting impact. The sustainability of this project is a reality because of the relationship I made with Lindsay and Basanti through creating and adapting this rap session, and then our relationship with the scholar taking over the rap session. Sustainability through connection is also a concept that I am bringing into my ISEP project, a resource kit to aid in de escalation, grounding, and mindfulness for Twin Cities volunteers. It has been clear from the beginning that Jamie, my community partner, shares the same passion I have for mindfulness. We talk frequently about how to make this project sustainable, as I plan to stay involved with Thrivelihood over the summer. There are plans in place to connect regularly post graduation via a reading group and mindfulness sessions led by Jamie and myself. Looking into the future, I will be teaching English in Madrid, Spain this next year before pursuing a PhD in either clinical or counseling psychology back in the US. My job in Spain, I expect, will be similar to my experience in Colombia, and I cannot but help recognize the full circleness of my journey with CESP. Going into this experience in Spain and in all other service experiences beyond, I will take the lessons mentioned in this digital story with me. 1. Allow yourself the space to process and reflect on your how and why. 2. Surround yourself and build relationships with people and communities who will give you this space and support you in it. 3. Honor your interests, passions, and professional goals. These should not live at the center of your experience, but also should not be neglected or resented. 4. Cultivate connections in order to create sustainability and make a lasting impact. I am so grateful for this program and community. I would not be the person I am if it had not been for CESP and the relationships I built during my time as a scholar. Thank you again so much for everything.